We're flying casual, just like Han Solo. I'm James, joined along with
Brock Smink. Hi.
Brock Calrissian is here. We are both very, very excited for Solo, a Star Wars story. Hashtag the Han Solo movie. Hashtag third best Star Wars film. Look, the trailer, not one person didn't like the trailer.
Oh, is that true?
No, well, of course it's true. I made that up. I just want to say, we're not in the same room right now.
No.
Because I couldn't get to his place because when we're done, I'm going to have a cream egg party.
Oh, did you get that? Is that from Easter or did you get that on sale?
These are, I got some on sale, but these are all from Easter. And I have more too. I'm going to have I'm going to hide them away in a jar. So.
And there goes our monetization.
Cadbury cream eggs. I love the cream eggs, so that's why we're not in the same room, because afterwards I'm just going to sit on the couch and pig out on Cadbury cream eggs. I'm not. I'm going to have maybe one and a glass of water in my Blue Jay.
Wow. Sponsored by Blue Jays.
Anyway, oh shoot, yeah, hold on. Star Wars. There.
Star Wars.
I like that. Anyway, we wanted to talk about the Solo Star Wars story trailer, obviously, and we have some screenshots, and we want to talk about the poster a little bit. So let's get right into the first screenshot. Give me 1 second. You selected this screenshot because you are selfish. It's Range Troopers.
Range Troopers, like, fantastic. I don't like. This is on top of the train that we've seen already. We know there's some type of shootout, or I guess we assumed. I can't remember. I gotta go back and watch the teaser again. But this is a real clear shot of the Range Troopers, and they look awesome. They kind of look like, well, it's Vader-esque, their chest plates, but it kind of looks like their snow troopers. But then it's a totally cool. It's almost like a tank trooper from like Rogue One sort of style. Oh, it's amazing. And then they're like, what is that? Like a wool cape or something or a fur cape. And they have those like gravity boots, which allows them to walk along the track. So are we assuming Han and friends have gravity boots or anti-magnet boots?
I could assume. I think that would be really cool to see it. I mean, if the train's going up and down the tracks like 360 around it, you'd think they would have to. Do you think? I don't think you have a screenshot of this. But do you think there's that moment when I joke in my reaction that, oh, Chewie's going to die? And obviously Chewie's not going to die. But do you think that could be the moment where Han saves him and the life debt comes into effect?
That's exactly what I sent you the screen cap of Chewie hanging out.
Oh, you sent that one?
Yeah.
Well, let's ignore what I said. Let's move on to the next.
I mean, we all know what it looks like. It's him wearing goggles. If you have it later, throw it in. But it's cool. And, yeah, I was just thinking that. That's why I screen capped it. I was like, this is sort of a moment where he saves them, which is pretty impressive because, you know, it's a Wookiee. He's a Wookiee. We assume he's pretty heavy. He's pretty strong. As we see in the trailer, he picks somebody up and, like, whomps them on the head like a couple seconds before this scene. But Han is able to grab him. And maybe this means they are wearing magnet boots because that's how Han is able to keep without falling off the train with him. But yeah, I thought the exact same thing when we were watching this just before our show. Is like, oh, this is probably where it all happens because we know Chewie and the other Wookiee seem to be on the same planet where it's like this mountain winter sort of thing, very gray looking. So perhaps they've escaped and Chewie is helping them on this heist of some sort, and this is where Han and Chewie comes up. Because throughout the trailer, you get the sense that as much as there's a camaraderie between the two of them, they seem like they're learning things about each other. You know, It's like, you're 190 years old. It's like, when do you learn to fly? It's like, you don't know what you're talking about, which is typical Han and Chewie. But when you think of it, like, they are just meeting. Like, he could literally be just completely disagreeing with Chewie. Though, in the past teaser trailer, when he's talking to Beckett, they're at a point where they're working together because Chewie goes, and he's like, that means we're in.
And there's that moment in this trailer, too, where they have a kind of moment like that similar as well.
Yeah. So, like, thinking that, I'm curious, do you think this train heist has anything to do with Beckett, or is it something that Han is doing previous to that? Or maybe this is an addition to get into Beckett's gang? I don't know. Like, I'm a little confused now I'm trying to slowly piece it together. I mean, every time I watch this trailer, I'm like, wow.
I'm figuring Beckett and Han are both Imperials at one point.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And they both kind of leave the Imperial army at different points, and Beckett knows of Han from the Empire. But I don't know where the Chewie thing fits out. I do want to point. I put up that graphic, the picture of Chewie on the train. But the one thing I will say about the range trooper look is somebody tweeted at Pablo Hidalgo, because everybody tweets at Pablo Hidalgo, and they said, "I like that there's new troopers, but why can't we get anything from the OT?" Which, we've been saying a lot of, like, I wouldn't mind seeing a creature from the OT. And he said, well, they're in a different place, so different troopers are kind of needed and whatnot. But the other thing he said was original trilogy troopers will be around. Like, we're going to get the OG troopers in this movie. So fret not, fanboys of the trooper. I'm trying to put that trooper picture back up, but OBS is acting like a BS. Anyway, so that's where I am on that. But this movie's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think I like it's the one thing is I keep going back to how Kazan wrote it, and I just feel like this is his forte right here, and he's just having fun with it, and I think we're gonna all experience that.
Right. Yeah. No, I fully agree. I got notes here, like, just to start off this trailer, the music. Like, I'm not a music person, but it really grabs me. Like, it's like that Western, like, twang, like, and then you feel it throughout the whole thing, kind of culminating in that sort of John Williams Star Wars fanfare at the very, very end. I was like, yeah, this is exactly what it is. I mean, this could just be a trailer. We might not hear any of that in the movie, but I was just impressed because it really grabs me. That scene opens. You're somewhere, maybe Corellia, I don't know. There's a mouse thing going across.
I love the mouse.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, they have rodents in space. But yeah, like, what else do I got here? But I feel like this trailer definitely, like, points out that there is going to be groups here. Like, at one point I thought, like, Beckett's group was separate, but then they say in it, like, he is forming a crew to help out with Voss. What's Paul Bettany's full character name?
Does he have a name?
He is the Voss character.
Drayden Voss? Oh, no.
Drayden Voss. I couldn't remember. I should have written it down. So, like, Han and friends are hanging out with, or, like, working for Drayden Voss. So maybe he's, like, the precursor to a Jabba the Hutt sort of thing. But then we also have the other villain in this. What's his name? Last name Nest.
Enfy's Nest.
Yeah, that's right. We're like MT's Nest, spin-off of Golden Growth.
Which would be awesome.
And his, like, crew, which I said in the past looks like a sort of First Nation sort of thing, which would work with the Western. But yeah, I feel like that's a group they have to deal with that. And then, of course, the Imperials. And then somehow, a whole bunch of other stuff's going to happen with Lando. Like, I don't know exactly. Like, Akira seems to be connected to Beckett somehow, because she seems to bring Han to him.
But Han knows her from his childhood.
Even though I agree with you. I think Beckett and Han have Imperial backgrounds, but I get the sense that Han doesn't know him. So who knows? Yeah, I'm curious where Lando fits into it. So should we do our next screen cap? Or?
We got Chewie and not Lumpy.
No, possibly Nala.
Awesome. It's definitely Mala. I think it's definitely Mala now.
Yeah. Would you be mad if it wasn't? Like, does it matter if it's his wife? Does it matter? Like, the head bump doesn't necessarily mean romantic. Like, because he head bumps with dudes too all the time. I mean, it kind of looks feminine. I don't know. It's definitely another Wookiee, which is like, we need more. All we got was really Revenge of the Sith, and I don't know. So it would be very cool. And they were battling. This is more like they're having an intimate moment of some sort. So I'm excited. I had to look at it 3 times to make sure it wasn't Han, because last time we got tricked into thinking it was.
I kind of feel like this is that moment before the train heist. Like, I think you're right, but he's saying, I'll be back, and she's kind of being like, be careful. Yeah. And then because of what happened, or maybe this is the goodbye after the life debt. Who knows?
And perhaps Han wearing that big furry jacket is on purpose. Maybe this is how he sneaks into the train. Perhaps all these Wookiees are on it. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. But like, we definitely need to set up a life debt. So what's the easiest way is to save Chewbacca, of course. Yeah, no, it's great. I remember seeing that. I was like, yes, I'm in.
Yeah, this is Erin went ballistic when she saw. She goes, "Are we going to see Wookiee babies?" I said, "That's a different Star Wars movie." Let's move over to. We'll stick with Chewie, but it looks like they've added Chewie to this shot because in the other teasers he wasn't here. This is outside the Falcon. I love the shot, but Chewie's there now. That's why I
grabbed this one because I was like, interesting. It looks almost identical. So I don't know. It's
no, every time Han's outside the Falcon, this is a shot. it's all
and they just keep adding more and more people digitally. But like right in this point in the trailer is right when Kira's like, it's like, what are you looking for? Revenge, power, money, or something like that, or something else? And then you see this, and it's like, it's not necessary. She's not necessarily meaning the Falcon, but like the ship that he wants to fly and sort of own the galaxy as the best pilot. It's like, this is what he's actually looking for. So it's really cool to see these two come together. We assume maybe it's like later in the movie, or I don't know. Like, it's where in the movie do you think you see Han and Chewie like forming this kind of partnership? Like midway, later in the movie?
Tell what he's wearing, because this, I feel like this is either the first time he's seeing the ship, or this is the moment when he first owns the ship.
Right.
But it has that mystique of, oh, what's this beautiful thing?
Yeah.
You know, like for the very, very first time, not, hey, it's ours. But then they added Chewie to it. And I think, I'm going to go with this is the first time he sees it because it's also the first time Chewie sees it because it's their home. And I think they've added that Chewie into it because it's also going to be Chewie's home as well as Han's. Mm-hmm. I think that's why. I could be way off, though. Who knows?
Or for all we know, this could be all parts of the reshoot. And originally Chewie wasn't there, and they're like, no, we got to put Chewie in it. So this is Uncle Ron's shot, and the other one is Lord and Miller. I don't know. That'd be amazing. That they reshot it to that extent.
Let's go. Let's stick with the Falcon. This one's the Falcon in the clouds.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's just a lot of stuff in this. Like, did you notice? You know, the typical thing he says in the Falcon in other movies is punch it when they go into hyperspace, right? Or light speed. But in this, I'm pretty certain he says push it. He says push it, Wait a second. So I'm curious if I'm crazy or if there's some new meaning behind that. That's fantastic.
Maybe pushing it just isn't enough. Pushing it just isn't enough. You know, he could say push it. And maybe something like it doesn't work. He goes, punch it, and he gives it a smack.
Maybe. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I think this new, like, I know I've heard people that I know complain that there's blue on it and that, you know, the centerpiece. But there is a toy. We'll talk about this later. But there's a toy that looks like that center part of the Falcon that closes it up like a muzzle, detaches and ejects out of it. But I'm perfectly fine with the blue. I think that fits in with the prequel era ships that all had the nice like red on them, like burgundy. I think it fits with the blue. I think over time, look, it's nice and white on the inside. I think over time you get to see it's fade on the outside because you know Lando gets pissed. Lando is pissed off at what Han did to his ship.
Yeah, and as we've seen already, Lando is a flashy dresser. He wants you to notice him, so he has to have a ship that will match that look.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool because like in this we get that screen cap of like the first real close shot of the Falcon in flight mode like this. Even though we've seen it in the teaser, unless you're looking for it, because I had to go back and check it out. It does have this little part in the front, but it's like cut in such a way that it's very dark in the front, or it just never points to you like this one. And it's like, what? But did you say when they did the first poster, the one that was supposed to be a Russian leak?
Yeah. Like
you could see that in that? I don't remember it, but you said.
Yeah, you could. And there was also the Lego came out that showed it as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, this is the first time I've noticed it. So I'm like, that's exciting. Why?
I'm just like, everyone knows I have the big diecast, but in like 1995 or something, my dad got me a little diecast of the Falcon.
Yeah.
And then I got another one, and then when the Force Awakens came out, I got the Force Awakens with the rectangle dish on it one.
Yep.
And now I'm looking at this, I'm like, well, I guess I will have a 4th Millennium Falcon miniature diecast to put on my desk that I don't own. But I love it, man. I can't wait to. It's my favorite. It's like the best ship. I don't care. Like if you're a Star Wars fan, you love the Falcon.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's awesome that we're gonna grow with Han, Chewie, Lando, and the Falcon. Like they're all there. And the Falcon might be L3. That might be Lobot. We don't know, but I'm so excited. Only what, a month? Just over a month to go. 45 days, 44 days, something like that. Let's go inside the cockpit.
Ah, yes. This is an awesome moment in this trailer because it's like Chewie's standing in the back. Like, have we ever seen Chewie stand this long in the cockpit of the Falcon in any other movie? He's always sitting, usually co-pilot. It's so weird because it's this huge Wookiee standing in this cockpit. You think they probably made it a little bit taller so he could stand like that, but like you think he should be like stooped over or something. But then you see him do something. It's like, hey, how'd you learn how to fly? And it's like 190 years old, but it's fantastic. It's just great. Like this I assume is the scene where they're running from the Star Destroyer and that tentacle monster's there. So it's like it's a hectic scene. It's also do you assume that's what this is from?
I don't know, because this the moment, like, does he own the Falcon now? Because why would he be flying it without Lando?
Because I don't know, because Lando is in this scene. Perhaps him and L3 have gone off to the turrets to shoot at things, because in the scene in the trailer, they're all in the cockpit, I believe, or at least Lando is. He's like, we're fine. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Like
if that's the scene, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like the bluish tinge of whatever's coming through the viewport, like, reminds me of that. I could be completely wrong for all I know, but they definitely seem like they're in desperation, but there's still that humor where it's like, you're 109 years old, you look good. Like, it's just like, I think this is what's gonna win a lot of people over.
I watched last week. I discovered that Netflix has all 4 Indiana Jones on it. And everyone knows all I watch is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows. But once I saw Indiana Jones, I was like, and I watched Raiders to Crystal Skull. I watched all 4 of them. Raiders, man, that young Kasdan writing is so like just like, it's so perfect. And you watch this, I'm like, everyone, and I said this on Twitter, I said, everyone's so hung up on the voice. It's like you forget the character. Like, he's not going to sound like Harrison Ford. He has to have the mannerisms, and he has to feel the presence of Han Solo, not Harrison Ford. And then, but Harrison Ford is Han Solo. Well, no, but no. But at the same time, this is a young version, like a 19-year-old version of Han Solo. Like, he's got to grow into the guy that we know and love. And based on Chewie's age, we've got 10 years for him to do that.
Right. Yeah, you know what? Like, when I hear that, I just like, I don't know the consensus of it, but Battlefront 2, the story mode was very good and interesting, and really I felt added to the lore. And we get Han in that, and it's not Harrison Ford's voice, to my knowledge. He has a beard for whatever, or well, they explain it, but like, it's I accept that as like that Han. I understand it because it's like that Han feels, even though it's a video game, Han, it's not a large chunk of story for him. It's still like, yeah, I totally accept that. So like, if you can accept that, this is like way more and has more depth. So like, maybe we be more open-minded on this. I don't know.
Awesome. Battlefront 2 was the only time I've ever really liked Maz Kanata. Let's go to the ATST.
Yes,
is that Han Solo in the foreground? Just saying.
I think that's a Marsh Trooper or Mud Trooper.
But is that Han Solo?
I don't know. I put this one in because I think it's awesome how it just drops.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really, well, maybe the first time we've seen ATST being dropped, but like we saw the tanks in like Clone Wars do this all the time, and Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith with their like tanks, they would just drop them in. But there's just something like, ooh, yeah, because like back in the original, it's all models and like later a little bit of CG, right? So this is CG as well, but like just to see it move like this, and then we get the sense that like this is going to be a huge Imperial battle because we see later on mud troopers shooting out, and almost like when I see that part of it when they're shooting out of this like smoke, it looks a lot like Rogue One. It kind of looks like the battle in Last Jedi, where like Phasma comes out of the like smoke with a whole bunch of First Order troopers. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what it is. It just reminded me of that. I'm like, yeah,
it looks Star Wars.
Yeah, so like we're definitely getting. I get the sense we're getting a lot of different like shootouts for sure. But yeah, just having it drop into your shot like that, or your monitor, or your phone, or whatever you're watching this on, is like, yeah, that's awesome.
That was a moment that really like took me back. I was like, this is awesome. I want to see this movie today.
And what is the planet that they're on that has all this swamps?
Oh, like, it's actually, I think it's
Barish or Backish, or is it a B name? This is the problem with new movies. You gotta learn all these.
But names. I think it's a planet from Legends, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that did exist prior. Yeah, not Bakura.
No.
Well, I would remember that.
It is. Hold on, I'm looking it up. It's not Corellia. Mimban.
At least there was a B in it. But yeah, that looks rad. Like I believe I can't remember. There's like, it's not like just a swamp. There's like a city there or something, like a trading post or something. But yeah, that's a rad picture. What else do we got here?
We have Voss.
So Dryden Voss is our first real look. Is this our first look at Paul Bettany as Dryden Voss?
When it was Michael K. Williams, he said that he was half like creature, half human, and I guess to save time, they just put some scars on his face.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really, really cool. It's exciting. It's sort of, and we've had Paul Bettany as Vision, and he's sort of like a Doug Jones, where he does a lot of like dressing up as something else. You rarely get him like this, to my memory, like, or he's always in something, like he's never just a dude. I feel like I never see his hair, I guess is my point. So we get to see his hair, and I'm like, that's pretty sweet. I'm excited. I'm like I said earlier, I hope he's sort of a prelude or a stepping stone to Jabba or something like that, or very much like a Jabba character. Like that'd be really cool, like a crime lord of some sort.
I 100% think that this is that Jabba is making an appearance towards the end of this movie.
Oh,
like 100%. I am. If it doesn't happen, I will say that this movie ruined my childhood. Let's look at his weapon.
Yes. What are we thinking this is? Is it a vibro blade, or is it a new thing we've never seen? It's definitely not a lightsaber.
It's not a lightsaber.
But it's cool. It's like brass knuckles in the middle, and then like blade on the outside. That's so awesome. And next scene he's like cutting through or something, and it explodes. Like we see these characters a lot. But we don't see a lot of the battle that happens. So we're not exactly, they're definitely being tight-lipped on like, what does Han and friends have a battle with them at some point? Obviously they're supposed to be working together, but what is the plan? I don't know. But just getting these visuals of that stuff is really awesome. One of the, like, a lot of the lines in this are like kind of relate to this, is like how Beckett's sort of like, you're in this life for good if you choose this, and like it's easier to not have friends because then you're not as disappointed when they betray you. It's like this is sort of setting the mood for who Han is, and you're like, oh, okay, like now we understand why he doesn't trust people in A New Hope, and he's sort of like cavalier. He's never really lets anybody in, just like because he's been taught that like, once you've done this, there's no going back. Like you make your choice and then that's it. Like there's never a turning back or changing your mind sort of thing. Like that's pretty cool. I mean, I hope it plays out more, but to get that taste of it in the trailer, you're like, wow. So
I love it. It looks like brass knuckles with like, that red glow is just so catching. Let's go into our introduction of Lando Calrissian.
Yes. Where is it? Probably one of the biggest shots in this trailer that everyone's been excited about. I think I called it, oh, I remember this scene from the Denny's commercial because it's kind of similar. But just we're assuming this is the card game that maybe wins the Millennium Falcon. I don't know.
I don't think this is their first meeting. This is when he has to go to him for something.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. It was like,
although
we see later that they're talking. So, and this feels like, this is like the first time you see Lando ever.
But maybe he says that he needs him and his ship, and he says no, and then he goes, okay, I'll play you for your ship, and he wins the ship. But he doesn't know anything about the ship, so Lando goes with him for the first time.
But doesn't Kira say something? He's like, I got a ship as well? Maybe Kira leads Han to, or sends Han to Lando? I can't remember. I know Kira is the one that introduces Han to Beckett. But I'm very interested in this Kira character. Like, I think she's like pulling the strings.
Oh, don't tell people that.
Why? Because we're on YouTube.
The SJWs have ruined Star Wars.
But think about it. If she's the one pulling the threads behind, and she's like, Han's like really connected to her, and then she betrays him at the end, boom.
Oh yeah.
That explains Han.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't know. I don't want it to be that predictable.
It probably will be though.
Floored by this movie, probably. I don't know.
You know what? Sometimes predictability, if it's fun, it doesn't matter. Exactly. When something isn't fun and it thinks it's clever and it's predictable, that's when it fails. But when it's fun and predictable, you go along for the ride and you don't mind so much. Think of Avatar. Avatar makes $200 bazillion, I believe.
Yeah.
Totally predictable, but people kept going back because they were having a ton of fun in that movie. Like all those, like Force Awakens, totally predictable. You knew it was gonna have so much fun. It makes $2 billion. A Titanic, we all knew it was gonna sink. It makes almost $2 billion. It makes $2 billion.
We all know how it ends.
We all know. But like, if you make something fun and engaging, and even if you do something like we know this movie's gonna end okay for Han and Chewie.
Yeah.
So look, that's how I feel though. It's like, I don't want it to be predictable, but at the same time, if it's fun enough, I'll let that slide.
Yeah.
Like Infinity War, it's going to be so predictable. Thanos is going to die in the first minute.
And then they're just like, what do we do with this glove? I don't know.
And they have a rave with the caretakers from The Last Jedi.
And they're like, where is the Soul Stone? And it's right here.
And this is the final. This is your final.
The Soul Stone was always here.
Here's your final picture. It's of the ship taking off from the train heist.
Oh man. I just, what I also love about this, I think I might have said this, like, I love how like Han and Chewie, it's getting you a sense that they're not friends yet, even though they're already like, it seems like they're clicking right away. It's like, I feel like you're gonna get a moment where Chewbacca wants nothing to do with Han, which will be very bizarre. It's so out of the ordinary. I think when he's like grabbing him and trying to save him from the train, falling off the train, when he like shouts out Chewie, I feel like that might be the first time he calls him that. Or like, Han being Han, he's like, hi, I'm Chewbacca. I was like, okay, Chewie, like his name becomes like an insult like Han does with everybody. But then in that moment, he says like, Chewie! And then they're like, oh, now it's my name. I lifed it. Raising the roof. Because it's weird when you're not in the same room as me.
You're not even on camera right now.
Okay, sweet.
I want to talk about the poster quickly. Oops, I got rid of it. Here's the poster. What did you think of this poster?
I loved it.
But they got rid of the guns. So I want this on my wall. I'm going to buy this poster. This is, what? I really like the Venom teaser poster where it's just like the eyes. And I'm like, but this poster, I really, really like this poster. Yeah. So Walmart, I'm coming for you. It's my number one.
Like it's great. The pattern is like the viewport of the Millennium Falcon in the background.
And look, Jabba's palace in the top. Jabba's palace. There are a couple other things though that I do want to point out in it.
Yeah.
For starters, it looks like a Virtual Boy from the 90s. It's all red. Right here, if you zoom in to top of Chewie's head.
Yeah.
Are those Nerfs?
I think so, man. Like That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I hope it's just there. Well, it'd be neat to see, like, they walk by and like, oh, nerfs. Nerf herders.
I would love it if, like, for 10 minutes of the movie,
yeah,
Chewie and Han can't get a job doing anything, and they have to slum it as nerf herders for a while on somebody's farm. I would just be in the theater like...
Because he's not offended by being called a nerf herder.
No,
he's just offended by scruffy looking.
Yeah, the scruffy looking is what gets him. He's like, yeah, I'm a nerf herder. So is my pal Chewie. But who's scruffy looking?
Sorry, go ahead.
But who's scruffy looking?
What I like about this poster is Chewbacca. One, you get to see his like bandolier slightly different for whatever reason. But he kind of like looks like the way they drew him in this. It's very like Macquarie-esque, you know.
Yeah.
Like he looks like Chewbacca, but the face looks slightly different, almost feline, which I don't think a Wookiee's supposed to be feline. But I love it. Yeah.
I also love that Lando has a lightsaber hilt.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
It does look like a lightsaber. Does he not have a silver gun in this though? That kind of looks. It could be
I mean, it's probably a gun, but it looks like a lightsaber.
Yeah. But yeah, Donald Glover looks so awesome in this, and somehow they're still able to give him like that '70s bell bottom look on his pants. But oh man, just those gun belts are just perfect for like the Western feel of this. For this, and we saw a little bit of Val, Tandy Newton's character. I feel a little bit more, not much. She doesn't say anything, so but I think we got slightly more shots of her. So I'm very interested to hear more about her character for sure.
Yeah, she's really a dark horse in it. Is she just there coming along for the ride on the Star Wars ride, or does she play a part in it at all? Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What were your favorite parts of the trailer? What do you want to see more of? We're going to talk about more of this, obviously, on episode 89 of the Rebel Scum podcast coming later this week. I think Thursday or Friday. You guys will get Patreon. We'll get it on Thursday for sure. Everyone else probably Friday. I'm like, I watch this trailer like 100 times a day, and I think I figured out the plot. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. Tickets are still not available. Thankfully, May the 4th probably looks like a good day to put those out.
Oh, that would be so amazing.
It would be, right? We might do something on May the 4th as well, but we'll have to figure it out. Yeah. Anyway, that's what we're just geeking out over the trailer, and we just want to do a video geeking out over the trailer and talk about some of our favorite screenshots. We'll do more as the week goes on, obviously, like I said, because 45 days, 46, 45, 44, somewhere around there. Cannot wait. Anything else you want to say, Brock, before we wrap this up?
I love this movie, and I haven't even seen it.
Are you going to say this is a 9 out of 10 the day before?
I just met you. This is crazy, but go see Han Solo on March 24th, baby.
May 24th.
Sorry, May.
May 25th.
May the 24th be with you, which would be the Thursday, but I know it's the 25th. Memorial Day, so whatever that is. I guess our Victoria Day.
No, it's not. It's a week after.
Super psyched about this movie. What?
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you later on this week. And Brock, you were always scum.
Han Solo scum.
Chrome Dome.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.